Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is a paid request, this time from Alban. Thank you so much, man. Really do appreciate it, as well as everyone who has sent them in. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Pretty much under each of these videos, there'll be, like I said, a commentary, reaction, a random topic, a list, a ranking, a re-review, review, me trying a video game, well, whatever it may be, feel free. But this is, he wanted to ask, what were my top 15 films of 1998? Had to think about that for a bit, because there's quite a bit of movies in that year I did enjoy. Like some that I do like that did not make the list for various reasons, but I do like these films, but they didn't quite make the list. Halloween H2O I do like, but it didn't make the list. You know, the different masks are annoying. It does have that after Scream feel, although I do like Scream. But I do like Halloween H2O for what it is. I like it much more than the new Halloween films. The Waiting Scener is a good Adam Sandler film. It's doing 80s nostalgia in the right way. It's got actually a pretty decent love story. Good chemistry between Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore. The Thin Red Line I do like as a war film. I actually liked it more than Saving Private Ryan. John Carpenter's Vampires is a good vampire film. James Woods is a boss in it. Ronin I do like with Robert De Niro. That's a good action film. 6 Days and 7 Nights I find a fun movie. Rest in peace Ivan Reitman, who directed it, who did Ghostbusters. Rest in peace Anne Heche. I think Harrison Ford is a lot of fun in that movie. I think that's a film that still doesn't have a Blu-ray. Soldier Caruso I do enjoy, but didn't quite make it. But that's a fun action film. There's a few others, but made the list. Number 15, The Big Hit. Yes, it's Mark Wahlberg, but I could deal with him in the movie. I do like Lou Diamond Phillips. Really, it's the action in that movie that has a bit of that, a little bit of John Woo, just a fairly energetic romp of an action movie. The energy is infectious with that. You even have a big old battle scene in a video store. And then Lou Diamond Phillips is having a lot of fun. Part of me wishes he was the lead. But Mark Wahlberg isn't too bad in the movie. And that's, saying something coming from me. Number 14, The X-Files. The first movie, Fight the Future, is the only good X-Files movie because the sequel was awful. I would put it higher on the list, but sadly with the movie, it kind of did this thing where it kind of went in a circle. It wanted to answer questions, but it didn't answer questions. Maybe answer some questions, but then it was in this weird space where it could not answer everything because it was coming back to TV the next season, but it wanted to show the audience something. And as a movie, like, it was nice to see a slick production on the movie. It was nice to see Gillian Anderson and Dave Duchovny on the big screen together. It was nice to see people like Mitch Pileggi and William B. Davis, the cigarette smoking man. I do like the sequences in the third act. I like the design inside the alien spaceship and the aliens themselves. And like I said, I do like some of the slick direction, some of the camera work, like when they're going through the cornfield. It felt like a bigger production. You have the big building exploding near the beginning of the film, and it felt like such a big event movie for X-Files. Again, what they should have done though was make that big budget film a Monster of the Week. Because then when they made that with the sequel, it became they picked like one of the dumbest, most lamest wheat sauce. It felt like a low budget movie, the sequel. Head transplants. Like, give me a fucking break. Maybe like a kick-ass monster movie in the forest or something. Like a murder mystery monster movie in the forest. Well, if you did a movie instead of an episode of like Detour or Field Trip or any number of stuff, that would have been much better. But I still like the first X-Files movie. Number 13, Hard Rain, with Christian Slater, Morgan Freeman. It was also known as The Flood. It's from the writers that did Speed and Broken Arrow. Sadly, the film did not do well. Good luck trying to find the film on Blu-ray now, at least in the US. It's out of print. I thought it would be released because there was another movie that had the trailer for it. I'm like, huh, they got the trailer for that? I wonder if that means they'll release a Blu-ray for it, but they never did. I forget what movie that was, though. I'm trying to remember what Blu-ray that was. It might have been... Was it The Golden Child? No, maybe not. Breakdown? Maybe it was Breakdown. It might have been Breakdown. That there was a trailer for it. One of them had a trailer. I'm like, oh, is Paramount going to release it on Blu-ray? But nothing as of yet. As far as I know. But I love the way it looked. I mean, they really made it feel like you were in the middle of a flood. And this whole town has been flooded. And the action scenes on these... I call them jet skis, but I don't think they're necessarily called jet skis. I forget the exact term for them. They do remind me of jet skis. Going around and through schools and all this rain and water and just the level of production they put into it is very commendable. Plus, I've always been a fan of Christian Slater. Broken Arrow, Gleam in the Tube, which deserves a Blu-ray in the US. Hell, a DVD in the US. Cuffs is a very fun one. So I always liked Christian Slater. Morgan Freeman. Randy Quaid is fine, but they give away his character's twist in the trailer. It was a very stupid thing in the trailer. They give it away in the trailer, what happens with Randy Quaid. Again, a fun popcorn movie, Hard Rain, with some good, commendable production values. Morgan Freeman playing a different type of role, which was nice to see. Number 11, What Dreams May Come. A sad, beautiful movie with Robin Williams, who dies in an accident, and he's in the afterlife. It's very sad to watch, considering what's happened to Robin Williams, but it's very interesting visuals of the afterlife, very unique look at the afterlife, whether it be the whole environment is like a painting and it smears like a painting. You get some really striking visuals. I don't mind Cuba Gooding Jr. in it. Robin Williams trying to get to his wife, trying to contact with his wife. Like I said, it's very visually stylistic in its aesthetics. Very original in its visual aspects. It is a very unique looking film. And like I said, I quite enjoy it. I've always enjoyed What Dreams May Come. And I thought Robin Williams did a good job in that movie. And always, it's sad to see though, because of the subject matter, what happened with Robin. Number 10, at Mercury Rising. Underrated Bruce Willis movie. He stars as a guy that looks over this kid who is autistic. His family's been killed. And yes, the plot could be deemed goofy because the government, there's aspects of it that had the super code, and they tried to put in this damn magazine. Oh, we wonder if anyone will break it. But this kid, because he's autistic, broke this super code, and now he's trying to be taken out. I mean, that's stuff that was done worse in The Predator. Here, at least, I think the acting is better. I think the tone is more consistent. And it's just much more of a satisfying movie. I think Bruce Willis actually does a really good job. I think he works well with Mito Hughes. You really feel that this is a guy that cares for this kid as his son. Like a son. Some people may not like it for the depiction of autism. But it's 1998. And I don't think there's any ill will or ill intent on it. I really don't. And from what I understand, there's various forms of autism, and some I don't know if they'd be able to beat a government super code, but there are different forms of autism, so I don't think it's trying to be malicious or any of ill intent. If that's the case, then you gotta make fun of Rain Man, which, was an Oscar winner. Although I guess there's probably some that do that too, so I guess that shows me. But I always like Mercury Rising. Although, and I know Alban, thankfully he didn't shoot anybody while making that film, because he loves to shoot people. But Alban did a good job as a villain. I love the scene where Bruce Willis fucks up his wine cellar. Because Alban's trying to give this big speech, but Bruce Willis ain't having it. I thought they worked well together. I wish they were in the movie more together, but hey, Alban was the bad guy. If you want to hate Alban, here's a movie to do it, because he's the bad guy. He tries to shoot people, but he didn't kill anybody for real like he did in that fucking recent thing. Number 9, I put Land of the Free. If you don't know what that is, I don't blame you. That's a Jeff Speakman film with William Shatner as the bad guy. Yes, it's a PM Entertainment film. It's one of the few, sadly, that Jeff Speakman did. I think the other was Running Red, I believe. Which that was disappointing because I used some footage from Red Heat, among others. But Land of the Free, those are my kind of movies. Just down and dirty, fast-paced action films where you get the martial artists like Jeff Speakman, the perfect weapon, kicking ass with Kimpo, firefights, more kicking ass with Kimpo. You get bus chases, cars flipping like crazy, chases on a school bus, and William Shatner, the Shat, as your villain. What's wrong with the Shat as the villain? Nothing wrong with it. It's the Shatner. But yeah, that's a lot of fun to see. And I put it up there a bit higher because it's a film no one talked about, pretty forgotten, but I think it's a fun, entertaining. If you like your action and you want people kicking ass like men used to do back in the day instead of this world of sissies that we live in, films like Land the Free, and that's what we got back in the day were direct-to-video. They weren't all winners, but sometimes you would get a Riot with Gary Daniels, or Deadly Outbreak with Jeff Speakman, or Land the Free with Jeff Speakman, or someone with Jeff Wincott, like Last Man Standing, or even theaters, the Bruce Willis Last Man Standing. That's what we did back in the day, unlike today. Number 8, Dark City. Great science fiction story. Rufus Sewell and William Hurt, may rest in peace. And like the whole cast did a great job. Kiefer Sutherland, wonderful score. I know that score was used. If you watch the trailer to the first X-Men movie, the music in that trailer is from this movie. Great score. Love the idea. Love the setup. I love what you find out where the city's at, what these strangers are, and it does, in a way, become a bit of a superhero movie at the end, but a nicely done one. And Alex Proyas had a great visual style. He had done it in The Crow before, and he used it in this. Very effective science fiction story. Quite enjoyed Dark City. Number 7, The Truman Show. One of the first times where Jim Carrey got to stretch his acting muscles, a bit more dramatic, but still comedy. I love the concept, which honestly is more relatable today, because there are people that either stream on YouTube 24/7 or on Twitch 24/7 or so forth, and it was ahead of its time on that front. See, nowadays, like, this is like the whole world watches this one guy. Nowadays, that wouldn't be the case, because it'd be a bunch of people watching some hot girl, and every, hour she diddles or so. Well, they probably can't do that on Twitch, at least not yet, so they find a way. Some other platform, I don't know what. But the concept of a guy being watched but he doesn't know that he's on a TV show. And you ultimately, like, you, from the get-go, initially feel sorry for Truman. And the way Jim Carrey plays it and how humanistic and innocent the guy is, and I think you really feel for the character, how everybody he talks to is lying to him and reading from a script, and there's only like one person that gives an iota of shit about it. So by the end, you're like rooting for the guy. Ed Harris does a good job, as well as the other actors. The Truman Show at times is funny, at times is heartwarming, and maybe some people find it corny, but I found it a very interesting project by Peter Weir, who did that film, who did, what was it, the Dead Poet Society with Robin Williams and among other movies. Really like The Truman Show. It's been a while since I've seen that. Number 6, Enemy of the State. Rest in peace, Tony Scott. Missed that guy. Loved him as a director. Beverly Hills Cop 2, Days of Thunder, Deja Vu, this movie, Last Boy Scout, of course Top Gun. A lot of great hits in his career. A lot of great movies in his career. First and only time he worked with Will Smith. Oh, it kind of makes me wonder why they never worked together again. Because you look at like Denzel, he worked with Denzel quite a bit. And The Last Boy Scout, we know that everybody hated each other, so that's probably why he never worked with Bruce Willis again. But just to be fair, like, he never worked with Eddie Murphy again and others. Tom Cruise, he did work again on Days of Thunder. But yeah, the Will Smith again got to be a bit more of a serious performance, because this is after Men in Black. Because Men in Black was 97, this was 98, so I guess you could say this is the first time he got to be a bit more, he was still Will, but a little bit more of serious, and a bit more of a serious film, action, conspiracy theory, paranoia. Gene Hackman is in great support. Love Gene Hackman as an actor. And there's a lot of familiar faces when you look at that movie again. There's Jack Black, there's Matthew Lillard, not Matthew Lillard, Jamie Kennedy. Yeah, Jack Black, Jamie Kennedy, Seth Green is in that. I wouldn't be surprised if Matthew Lillard popped in, but he doesn't. But I mean, it's like this Jack Black and Jamie Kennedy and Seth Green. If I said Seth Rogen, I didn't mean that. Seth Green. So yeah, Seth Green, Jack Black, Jamie Kennedy. I think also Barry Pepper was in it, and I think James Caan's son. I think like again, John Voight, Tom Sizemore. We had a lot of familiar people in that, and I think in the U.S. it made like $100 million, so it wasn't the hit that Men in Black and Independence Day were, but it still made some money. As I love the very techno-savvy plot, again very much more adamant today compared to it was back then with surveillance and how they're able to find you just like that. Done that great Tony Scott style. I wouldn't say it's like action-packed. There's not like fisticuffs and tons of shootouts. There's a little bit at the end, but it is more of a thriller. And as a thriller, it's an entertaining thriller with a pretty damn good cast. So quite enjoy Enemy of the State. Number 5, I'll say it, Godzilla. Always enjoyed the 1998 Godzilla. I still enjoy it. I understand people's anger towards it, because I felt that way with other properties. Michael Bay's Ninja Turtles, for example, I hate with a passion. Maybe because, while I do like Godzilla, I didn't grow up with it as much as others. Like, I did see it as a kid, but not as adamant as other people did. I do agree that they should have just kept the Godzilla design. If you take that same movie and you somehow, well, I guess there's no way to do it, but if you somehow did a deepfake and it looked like the actual Godzilla, and once in a while just throw in a couple, those atomic breaths, I don't know if people would be that pissed about it. I like Matthew Broderick. I did not like the girl who plays girlfriend. I thought she was a bitchy character. But I do like John Reno. I do like, oh, what's his name? The cameraman, Animal, I think was his character's name. Oh God, I forgot. He's a voice on The Simpsons. Hank Azaria. I do like Hank Azaria quite a bit. I love John Reno in it. I like Roland Emmerich's some bits of his sense of humor. I tolerate more than the Ninja Turtle Michael Bay produced sense of humor. And like I said, I like Matthew Broderick as the lead. I like the popcorn action spectacle of it all. I like the look of the film. I like some of the way the city is like this a model. Like they use like look like they use a model in the city in certain parts with the helicopter go through. I like the way it looks, and I like the soundtrack. You know, P Diddy or Puff Daddy. Even we can be heroes just for one day. I saw it in the theater. I had a good old time. Eating my popcorn. I can still have a good old time. They should have just either called it a different title. Fuck that one movie Reptilian. Just call this movie Reptilian. Might not be the best name. But if you called it a generic name and you don't associate with Godzilla, I don't think people would be that pissed about it. But I can understand people being mad about it. I'm not. Because I just had a lot of fun with it. Number 4, Rush Hour. Now, Rush Hour, I remember when that came out, and I was excited because that was what I was getting into Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan. Because by that time, I remember we had cable, and I saw, like, what's coming out in the summer, and this was touched on, like, for 10 seconds. Because they didn't think this movie would be anything. Oh, cool, like Jackie Chan I had just seen on video Rumble in the Bronx and Operation Condor and Super Cop. I was really getting to him. And then Chris Tucker I had just seen Friday on VHS. And then I saw Money Talks, which needs a Blu-ray. Same with Nothing to Lose with Martin Lawrence. They both need Blu-rays. But like I really enjoyed Money Talks. He fucked everybody. Fuck the bride, fuck the groom, I fucked them all. I love Money Talks. Enjoying those two, and Chris Tucker, this up-and-coming comedian, and Jackie Chan, and then I remember seeing and have a great time at the movies. I love the second one more. The second one is my favorite, but I do like the first one quite a bit. It's still a lot of fun. Chris Tucker, in a way, maybe it's sad we didn't see more movies, but in a way, he kind of made that decision for various reasons. He had enough money. He got a little bit more religious. But also, if you think about it, he didn't wear out his welcome. In a way, he had people wanting more, not being dragged off the stage. So in a way, that's commendable. Just sad, I mean, Rush Hour 3 was lame. He was in another movie or two, I forget what it was called. I think I saw it too, and I don't remember what it was. He had a big role in Jackie Brown. But yeah, I wish he could have done more. I wish he could have done more as a star in some vehicles. But again, maybe I would love to see like his version of a Golden Child type of story, or a horror comedy starring him, but he's like an Eddie Murphy type. But maybe that's the thing. He didn't want. Like I look at Money Talks, that's an Eddie Murphy type of vehicle, and I think Chris Tucker did a good job. Almost said Chris Carter. It was a different Chris. But I love Rush Hour. Number 3, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. It's really the only Terry Gilliam film I truly enjoy. Hunter S. Thompson story, adapted. Very weird, very quirky, very trippy. Johnny Depp does a great job, because you look at interviews of Hunter S. Thompson, you realize just how much Johnny Depp nailed that performance. Benicio del Toro as his sidekick, I guess best way to put it. Just a very weird, unique movie. I remember watching going, what the hell is this? It does feel like a drug trip. which makes sense because they are taking drugs. It's just a fun, trippy movie that I enjoy partaking from time to time. I don't know how else to word it. Sadly, the film, when it came out, did absolutely nothing, but I know there's a Criterion DVD that came out. I think I have it. I don't remember. Might be over there. But yeah, love, Fear, and Loathing in Las Vegas. Number 2, Blade. I mean, Blade is kick ass. You got Wesley Snipes kicking ass and taking names. I mean, what's wrong with that? That'll be better than whatever the fuck this new Blade film, which the director, quit? And now they're searching for a new director? And he got pushed back another year? Yeah, go look on that new Blade. I'll stay with Blade and Blade 2. Blade 2 is my favorite, but the first Blade, yeah, Steven Dorff is the villain. He does a fairly decent job. Wesley Snipes owned the role. He was a badass motherfucker. That opening in the club is fucking badass. Almost too badass, because I don't know if the movie really gets up to the level of the opening, but this is still a lot of cool stuff in that. I love the world of the vampires. I love how violent it was. I love the action sequences. Yeah, some of the CGI doesn't hold up the best, to be fair. Like when he cuts Steven Dorff in half and then the blood, like... But I do like Wesley Snipes' reaction. And that, stuff like that, and Wesley being able to showcase his martial arts prowess, and have like a badass, violent, R-rated vampire hunter movie. Exciting, and it was what helped kick off Marvel. People give all the credit to X-Men and Spider-Man, but it was Blade. Blade was that first hit. I said, oh wow, this can make money. And then 2000, X-Men. 2001, Spider-Man. And list goes on and on. Blade helped start that, and it deserves more credit. And number 1, The Big Lebowski. I have the film over there on, I think it's DVD. Yeah, I think it's just the DVD. I don't have the Blu-ray of it. But I love The Big Lebowski. Why can't I find it now? Yeah, it might be down below more, that's why. But I love The Big Lebowski. It's a very fun film. Yep, it's the DVD. Fun, I love that movie. It's hilarious. It's my favorite Coen Brothers film. I love Jeff Bridges and the way he works with John Goodman. John Goodman steals the movie from me. You ever been to Vietnam? What? You enter a world of pain. You strike that 0. You don't be entering a world of pain. No one give a shit about the rules. Come on, dude. That's not her toe. I'd get your toe. Hell, I'd get your toe by 4:30. Yeah. He's a pederast. What's a pederast, Walter? Shut the fuck up, Donnie. I love those 3 guys. Jeff Bridges, John Goodman, Steve Buscemi. You got the Jesus. Never fucked with the Jesus. You try that gun shit with me, I'll take it from your hands, stick it up your ass, and pull the trigger till it goes click. Jesus, you said it. Never fuck with the Jesus. Sam Elliott's cameo in it. What the fuck is this? I guess you're not a golfer. I'm just thinking of these random scenes that pop up and still make me laugh. I think Jeff Bridges, the role was so good that he kept playing that inadvertently throughout the rest of his damn career. He could not get out of the dude. It's once he played the dude, he'd forever be the dude. The dude abides. I love The Big Lebowski. I could watch that right now and laugh my ass off in a number of scenes. It's a weird story that is actually pretty interesting. Like I said, the characters is what makes it. And I don't care about your jerk off name. I don't care about your jerk off face. I don't care about you, jerk off. I'm sorry, I wasn't listening to what you were saying. They just throw in the mud. Ah, you fucking fascist. That's why at times where I say I call someone a fascist, it's because of the Big Lebowski. I always think of like Jeopardy did piss like, you fucking fascist. I hate the fucking Eagles, man. Get the fuck out of my car. Hey, man. I love the Big Lebowski. That has to be number one for me. So, with that said, the dude abides. We will see you guys later. Bye-bye.